Okay. I love that my computer is telling me the weather warning like I'm not sat in my house listening to the howling winds. So we're going to pray for my Wi-Fi throughout this. Come on, Wi-Fi. You can last one more hour. Definitely. Okay? Definitely. Right. If, like me, you are doing things to the last possible second before you join the lesson, please feel free to grab things right now, because that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to get some paper, a pencil, definitely a pencil, a ruler, a rubber, definitely a rubber, and maybe some colouring pencils. They're not absolutely essential. And I need to get other things, but you don't. That'll be fine. That's all you need. Okay. I'll be with you in less than 2 minutes, definitely. Definitely less than 2 minutes. Oh, and if you're waiting and you're bored, go say hi on Facebook or like and subscribe. I never think to say that. I'm patting myself on the back because I think that's the first time I said that. Well done, Ruth. I'm actually proud of myself. Hello. Do you want to say hi to everyone on YouTube, Frank? In fact, my son has just walked in his Minecraft onesie. You're very on theme, boy.
Wow. I didn't know you were doing this today.
Yeah, you can go downstairs and watch it if you want.
Okay, so it's the like.
Yeah, go on, tell that. He has got a parent, by the way, that is responsible for him. That's not me. I'm not just telling him to go away and ignoring him. Although, sometimes I do. It's, life. So close to being there. So close. One more thing. Good morning, Matt's mom. And maybe my son. Are you there? Are you watching? I don't think he'll have managed it yet. They're not that organised. They'll be flaying around downstairs trying to work out what to do. How are you guys? How are you this morning? Is anyone else in the middle of a pre-epic storm? Now, we live in Cumbria, West Cumbria, right on the coast. We are used to bad weather. Oh, yes, we are. It's windy from, I'm going to say, it's windy from August to July. It's windy from August to July every year, reliably. And it's wet most of that time too. Today is not wet, which is unusual, but he's so windy. I've just done a lesson with a little group that I work with, and I actually kept looking out my window because I'm nervous about this tree and my car, but also thinking I literally can't do anything about it. Literally, nothing I can do. Apparently 100 miles an hour winds out there. So, the Wi-Fi is doing well. Come on, Wi-Fi. Come on. Right, today, Minecraft. We're doing Minecraft. We are doing 3D drawing. So I love maths. You mostly love Minecraft. So I'm not a Minecraft expert, so my son has helped me with that stuff. But I do love drawing. I love like playing with drawings and particularly making them 3D. So this one was for me. This one was for me. My son didn't suggest this one. We're going to do some 3D drawing. I'm going to show you some basics. And then one of the things we've done, we love sitting together using Art Hub for Kids. Have you used it? Have you ever been on there? They take you through how to draw things in a really nice way. You can pause it. It's all on YouTube. Really cool. And there's loads of them. We do Pokemon and Minecraft. We've done loads of different things, but those two stand out a lot. And we've taken some of our Art Hub for Kids drawings and made them 3D using some of these techniques, which has been pretty cool. I've enjoyed doing that. So I'm going to show you some techniques today. I'm going to spin you around to my snazzy PowerPoint because they take me friggin' ages. And sometimes I don't show them enough. So yeah, you've got to see the PowerPoint. I never used to spend this long on PowerPoints when I was teaching in a classroom. So, you know, just so you appreciate them. Just, you know, I spend a lot of time on these for you guys. So 3D drawing, that's, you've already seen that, haven't you? You're like, Ruth, that's the screen we've already looked at. Come on, move on, move on. Here we go. Turn a 2D picture into 3D. So I don't know how much you know. I don't know. So I've got to work with, you don't know nothing. So two-dimensional. I'm in a silly but slightly nervous mood today. So sorry if things are a bit erratic. Two-dimensional means it's got 2 dimensions. So 1 dimension is like a length. I'm holding up a ruler. Can you see my ruler? If we go along this in centimeters, that is a length, that is 1 dimension. This shape here, this is I'm going to say it's a square. Maybe it's slightly rectangular. It's supposed to be a square. It's got 2 dimensions. It's got a length and a width. Okay, 2 dimensions, length and a width. This here is a block from Minecraft. You will notice that, like me as a person, like the world we live in, is 3-dimensional. It's got a height or a length, it's got a width, but it's also got a depth to it. It goes back as well. So we're going to aim to go from 2-dimensional to 3-dimensional. 4th dimension, I believe, is time. You can get some cool visuals on that. So technically, we live in a world with more than 3 dimensions. We can only see 3 of them, though. Okay, so we can only see 3 of them. So I'm going to take you around. I'll turn you around again. Let me explain this bit. So this is from my experience of working in classrooms quite a lot. And I did teach people how to draw 3D in classrooms too, with varying degrees of success. And my experience is that often it works best if you have an opportunity to watch first without having to do anything. So literally just watch it without having to do anything. And then if I go through it a second time, and then you have a go at doing the thing. But you know you best. I don't know you best. You know you best. So you do what's right for you. I'm just going to give you my experience of the last 15 years. Okay, so I'm going to show you with the snazzy PowerPoint that took me friggin' hours and then did a little dance. So then I had to correct it all again. Then I'm going to do it with you. Okay, so yeah, that's what I've planned for. What you've planned for might be different. Let's see. So the first technique, I'm going to show you 2 techniques today. There were a few techniques for drawing 3 dimensions. I'm going to show you 2. One's called Oblique and one's called Vanishing point. And I'm going to mention using isometric paper as well, but I didn't want to assume you could all get hold of that. That seemed a bit mean. Okay, so let's do oblique drawing. This is just the showing. So there's no expectation to be doing right now. No expectation to be doing. So we're going to start off with a square. So I'm going to do a square or a rectangle. Okay, actually, I'm definitely going to do a square. I'm definitely going to do a square. What I'd recommend is starting with a square or a rectangle. If you've done this before, you could be more ambitious with your shape. So you could draw a different shape. I'm thinking Minecraft. So I'm thinking like made out of squares and rectangles, you know, using right angles, but you don't have to. We'll talk about that in a bit. Then we're going to take one of the corners or vertices, and I'm going to draw a diagonal line back from that corner. So in this case, I've used the top left-hand corner, and I've drawn a diagonal line back. Now, what's really important is this diagonal line. I'll need to know the length of it and the angle. Well, I don't need to know it. I just need to make sure that the next lines are the same length and the same angle. So I'll show you. I go to another of the corners around my square and I'm going to draw a line that is the same length and at the same angle. So I'll show you how I do that with my ruler in a minute. Okay. And I need to do that from the other corners as well. If you've drawn a more complicated shape, you might need to do that multiple times. You might need to do that from quite a lot of corners. And it can be from the convex and concave corners. So the ones that go out and the ones that go in. I'll talk about that in a bit as well. And then once I've got that, these diagonal lines, I need to join these up to create another square at the back. And there, that gives me a cube, a 3-dimensional square, a cube. But this one's see-through. So not all blocks in Minecraft, in fact, I don't know if any of them are totally see-through. I think even we were using glass blocks the other day and you couldn't see the back of them. But I have been told in Roblox, we don't use Roblox yet at this house, but I've been told there's glass ones on there where you see through them. But we can make it non-see-through by rubbing out these lines or not drawing them in the first place, okay? Or what we can do is we can use colour. We can add colour to it. So if I want to do is this a grass block? Is this a soil block? I'm going grass block. If I've said it wrong, you just replace in your head with the right word, please. So here's the front of it. I would decorate it just like I would expect it to look. But then when I'm decorating the rest of it, I need to remember these parallel lines. So this diagonal line here, I need to use as a guide for the grass. So that's a diagonal line at the same angle as the ones that join the corners. Okay, so it's the same angle. And then because this is wiggly, I'd use that as a guide and then do some wiggles along it. But I do need to use these lines as guides for the decoration to make it look like a grass block. Okay, so I said that I would show you and then I would do with you. So I'm going to do that bit now. So grab your pen and your pencil. I'm feeling very Blue Peter-esque today. Very, very Blue Peter-esque because I've just, in my previous session, I did here's one I've made earlier, which never happens to me. But I just happened to find one that I'd practiced with on the floor, which was handy. So for this bit, you're definitely going to need a pencil, a ruler, and probably a rubber. I'm going to use a Sharpie just to highlight things that I've done. You don't need to do that. In fact, I'd start off with a pencil so that if you want to rub bits out, particularly if you don't want it to be a see-through block, you can do. And you can just use a pen or some colouring pencils or something to go over the box bits you want to keep. Okay. I probably want a piece of paper that hasn't got Sharpie all over it too, so you can see. Okay, come on, let's do this. Okay, so now this is my amazing teaching skills have taught me how to draw and write upside down, but not my left and right. How amazing is that? So you can see I've used this with lots of pens recently, can't you? I'm going to start off by doing a square. My square is going to be 5 centimeters in length all the way around it. I'm going to draw it. Can you see I'm quite near the bottom of my page here because the 3D bit is going to make it go further. Like I'm going to need some space up here to make it more 3D. So start off by drawing one side that is 5 centimeters long. Okay, so 5 centimeter side. Now to turn this into a square, it's unless you've got something that's at a right angle that you can use to specially make it a square, it's a bit of a guess really. So I just try and use the line on my ruler and line it up roughly with the line on the page as much as possible. And then, so it's at a right angle, so it's like 90 degrees. And I draw a 5 centimeter line at the base, at the bottom as well. 5 centimeter line at the bottom. Yours doesn't have to be the same length. Doesn't have to be the same length as mine. You can draw a different shape if you're feeling more confident. Absolutely. If this is the first time you've done 3D drawing, I would recommend starting with a square. That was my water bottle, sorry. I'm quite a noisy drinker, I think. Okay, so then I'm going to go to the right-hand side. No, left-hand side. Knowing your left and right upside down when you don't know your left and right, very confusing. So 5 centimeters again. And then I join the top together, and that should be around 5 centimeters. Mine is pretty bang on. It was slightly out the other day. Don't worry if yours is. Like, it doesn't need, like, absolute perfection can come after practice, like, or never sometimes, as my life seems to be working with so far. It's okay. We don't need to be perfect to learn something, do we? Now, don't do this bit. Don't do this bit. I'm just going to show you what happens. If I go back from one of my corners 5 centimeters, so the same length I was doing the sides, don't do this. Don't do this. It actually makes it look longer than a cube. It doesn't, it's going to look like a cuboid, like a rectangle on top. That's because of perspective. When we look at something from the front, but you can see a bit of the top, your eyes, the light is having to travel further from your eyes to this top bit, I think, and it takes longer. I think that's how it works. So therefore, this bit needs to be shorter than this bit to look like a square. It's a weird one. Your eyes recognize it automatically because you've seen lots of things from this angle. So we actually don't want it to be 5 centimeters, that line. We probably want it to be more like, I'm going to go for 4. We want it a bit shorter. You can have a play with it to see what looks best for you, but I'm going to go with 4 centimeters. So I'm going to show you how I did that. I'm going to put my ruler on the top right hand corner, and I'm just going to pick an angle. It actually doesn't matter what angle, it'll just change the perspective slightly. And I draw a line back. It doesn't matter, like I'm drawing quite a long one. And then I'm going to put 0 on the corner. Can you see how I've got 0 there, right on this corner, and measure 4 centimeters along? I'm going to mark that and rub the rest out because I think that's a bit easier. The other option is to, when you're drawing it, make sure 0 is on there, which gets, I think people find a little complicated. That was the feedback I was getting from Facebook the other day. Okay, so ruler on the corner, any angle, draw a line back, and then we're going to measure 0 to 4 centimeters. Do a little mark at 4 centimeters, and you can rub out the rest of that line. Don't panic if you can still see some of the lines, because you can go over this in like a marker pen to make the bits you want to stand out afterwards. It's no problem. This is practice, it's not perfection. And if you're doing it perfectly first time, I don't think I'm teaching you anything, eh? Eh? I don't know what that accent was. So I'm now going to move my ruler. This is where the keeping it on 0 bit is quite hard. I want to try and keep my ruler at that angle and move it over to the next corner. So I'm just shifting it over, keeping it at the same angle. I'm not going to worry about how long this line is to start with. I'm just going to faintly draw a long line back. So it's long. Look, it's too long at the moment. Way too long. That's not a problem. It's not a problem. We're doing this in pencil. And we can use a ruler. So then we just change how our ruler lines up. We're going to put the 0 on this corner here. We measure along to 4 centimeters. So that's where the 4 is. I'm going to put a mark there and rub the rest of that line out so that I'm making it shorter. Okay. So I'll show you that again. Moved. I have my ruler on this first line. I'm really carefully, I'm not holding it. I'm not pushing my ruler down here. There's no force going down. Well, a little bit because it's keeping it on the page. Very small amount of pressure going through my ruler so I can glide it across the paper. Keep it at the roughly the same angle. And then I drew a really long line before taking the 0 onto the corner so I could measure it and make sure it was 4 centimeters exactly. And then I rubbed the rest of it out. And then I'm going to make this bit bolder so you guys can see it really well. Okay? Can you see that? So I need to do that 2 more times. I'm going to have to go down to the bottom left hand corner and to the bottom right hand corner. If you don't want your block to be see-through, you actually don't need to do that last one. But for now, we're going to do a see-through block. Okay. So I'm going to take this ruler. I'm going to keep it at this angle. Very light pressure. Taking it down, 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 down. There's a song, isn't there? Down, 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 down. Down, 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 down. And I promised myself the other day I wouldn't sing on YouTube. Stop singing, Ruth. Line back. Long line back. And then we met. So that we took, oh gosh, clear instructions. Right, so ruler is in line with that one, that line there, that diagonal line. We're going to really, really slowly move it down really carefully, keeping it at that angle until I hit the bottom corner. And I'm just drawing a long line back. And then I make sure the 0 is on the corner, measure to the 4 centimeters. And then everything after the 4 centimeters can be rubbed out. And then this bit here, I'm going to make bolder. So it's really, really clear. So yeah, if you don't want it see-through, you can now just join those endpoints up and you'll have a block that is not see-through. So that will give you a solid block if you just joined those up right now. But as I said, I'm going to do a see-through block. So what we're going to do is we're going to do our last corner. So we take our ruler, which was on this diagonal line here, slide it across, keeping it at the same angle until we get to the final corner. Draw a big long line back. It should, if you're doing it really perfectly accurately, hit the other corner, but I haven't done it perfectly accurately. Actually, no, that's a lie. Depends what angle you've done it at. Yeah, ignore that comment. Ignore that comment. It doesn't matter. So then I've got my long line back. I'm putting 0 onto the corner and I'm measuring back to the 4. So I put a little line where the 4 is, and I'm going to rub the rest of it out. I'm going to rub the rest of it out. And now I've got 4 endpoints. 4 endpoints here. And I'm going to join those up, and that should create a square that looks like it's further back than the first square. It's actually the same size square. It should be a 5 by 5 by 5 by 5 square. So, and nicely, the lines all should be parallel. That means going in the same direction. So it's interesting. You've got like sets of parallel lines in a cube. You've got parallel going up and down, parallel going top and bottom, so like east to west. So you could think of it as like up and down, east and west, and then north and south. So it links to the 3D coordinates. So yeah, you've got like 3 sets of parallel lines. And then, yeah, so I keep joining these together like this. And you should have a 3-dimensional cube. Ta-da! And then, as I said, decorating it. Oh, my eyes have done that funny thing where it's changed which is the front and which is the back of my cube. And I can't see the front again now. Oh, you've got to be really careful with this because your eyes can do super funny things to you with these. Right, now I can see it again. So if I want this to look like a grass block, I'm going to colour the front of it in green. I haven't got a brown highlighter, surprise, surprise. So I'm only doing the green bit. And then I'm going to do this wiggly, 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 wiggly. But then I need that to be going back alongside as well. So I want to match my ruler up. I'd probably do a guide in pencil to make sure the line is parallel to the top and the bottom, and then just go wiggly, wiggly, wiggly You can tell I know all the technical art language here, can't you? Okay, wiggly, wiggly, wiggly all along the back there. There we go, like that. And then I can colour the top in green as well. And voila, I have a grass block. Just like that. Now this technique, like I said, you don't have to make it, you don't have to make it a see-through shape. This, I'm not measuring this and doing it accurately, but if you drew a rectangle or a square and then just went back, I'm going to go the other direction to show you can go the other direction as well, and just did it from 3 of them. So I'm doing it as though it's looking from the top this time, and joined it up so you can see, it's like you can see the front of a box, the right hand side of the box, and the top of the box. So you can do it so it's not see-through as well. And you can also do it with wiggly shapes. It doesn't actually have to be all straight edges. So if I took like a wiggly shape like this, I just choose the very edges and draw my lines back from the edges each time. And I've got to keep parallel to the wiggles this time to create a 3D shape. And then you can just shade that in to make it look like it's got the depth to it. And as I said, some people will feel more confident and feel like they can do a shape that is more complicated. So I'll just show you like a little L shape. So if I had like an L shape, I've got, when I said convex and concave, convex, this has only got convex corners, the ones that are pointing like outwards. This one's also, this L one has got a concave one, it's pointing in. We still need to draw lines from that one. So if I was drawing lines back like this, I still have to draw a line from that corner as well. And then I can join them up. So that would be a solid one where I can't see through it. Or if I wanted to be able to see through it, I would also have to do this one here and then join that in as well. And you can see I'm not managing to draw those. It's because I'm right-handed and I'm trying to do it from the wrong side. I'm struggling with that a little bit. But yeah, that's you get used to actually doing it freehand. You end up being able to draw parallel lines pretty well after a little while. Yeah, it's quite cool. It's a nice little skill to practice, and you can make almost anything 3-dimensional. I love doing 3D writing, for example. Minecraft, the actual word Minecraft, lends itself to that really nicely. If you've ever looked at that, you can print 2D pictures off and make them 3-dimensional if you don't want to draw the picture yourself. I said I would show you isometric paper, but not expect you to do it. You can find isometric paper by just Googling free printable isometric paper. That's literally what I do to find it, and just print it off if you want. If you are a square, I've put some isometric paper in the workbook for you to have a play with, and a little guide of how you would use it. So I'll just show you some isometric paper now. So you can either have it can be triangles, or it can be dots. And if you look at the triangle one, what's special, it's made up of equilateral triangles. So equilateral means all the sides are the same length and the angles are the same. And that gives you this perspective where it looks like all the sides are the same size and you're using the same lengths all the time to create a cube. So let me just show you what I mean by that. So if I'm drawing a cube on here, I wouldn't actually draw a rectangle. What I would draw is a rhombus, because it looks like we're looking at it from an angle, like we're looking at it. So this line is the one facing us, this edge here. And then I would draw another rhombus going back from here. And then I would join them together at the top here. So I'm actually drawing rhombuses to represent squares. And you can get it in dotty format as well. I did wonder if they would be quite hard to see on the screen. So I printed some off so you could see what they look like too. I don't know if that's helpful or not. It's actually probably worse. I think the screen is better, isn't it? So it can look like that. And yeah, what's really nice about isometric drawings is, oh man, I've just realized I've told my kids to watch this with my husband and I wasn't supposed to be drawing on the screen if he could see it. Hopefully they do manage to get online. Okay, so you didn't see that bit, Jeff. So yeah, see, I'll just show you this bit. We won't go through this because I know not everyone will have isometric paper. But essentially, you're using parallel lines again, but all the lines are going to be the same length in this. Because of the way the isometric paper is created, it gives the optical illusion that all the side lengths are still the same. It's like, yeah, it's kind of like an optical illusion. So we actually draw a diagonal line for our first side, and then we draw a line going straight down, and then we use parallel lines to join it up. So there'll be another line coming straight down and another diagonal. But if you count the side lengths of the triangles for these, it's the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So to make it a cube, we're using the same amounts of side lengths or jumps on the triangles each time. Then I need to create the, so if that's the left-hand side, I need to create the right-hand side by going off at an angle to the right. And then I join that up by coming down and coming back in at the same angle. And then finally, I finish the top off by drawing parallel lines to these first original lines here. And you can see it's come off my isometric paper a little bit there, but you get the idea. And all those side lengths are the same as each other. Okay. So the other one that we're going to do together is called a vanishing point. Now, a vanishing point is really cool. You don't have to just have one vanishing point. I actually looked it up. You can do it with 2, which I've played with myself. You can do it with 3 vanishing points as well. And you can do it with 4. Google it. It's really cool. You end up with like curved drawings. It looks pretty epic. And you can also use a vanishing horizon, which I was trying to play with on the train the other day. I'm finding quite hard because we were moving. So yeah, I'd recommend staying still if you're trying to like look on a horizon and copy a vanishing horizon. My top tip for you. But I'm going to take you through one vanishing point. So how you would do it with one vanishing point. I like this because it looks like it can make an object look like it's moving or coming from somewhere. And if you place different objects at different places around the vanishing point, they all look like they're sort of spreading out or something like that. Like they're all coming from one point and spreading out, which I think is quite cool. So same thing again. I'm going to show you on my fancy PowerPoint. It's not that fancy, but it just took me ages, especially all the lines and making sure they were lined up properly. You wouldn't believe it. They just did not want to join together. And then I'm going to do it with you. So feel free to do that with me. Just watch and then do with me. But you know you best, so do you. Okay? Okay, vanishing point. Let's do this. So we start same as before. I'm going to do a square. And I'm going to recommend that if you are doing this for the first time, you start with a square with me too. If not, feel free to do whatever you like. And then this time we also need a point on the page, and it can go anywhere. This point's gone above to the left-hand side, so it'll look like my shape is zooming from that point. If you go below, it'll look like it's zooming up. If you go right underneath, it'll look like it's just popping up anywhere on the page, and it'll look different depending on where you put it on the page. Then from that, each of the corners on my square, I'm going to draw a line back to the vanishing point. Now, you're all probably noticing something like super mathematical here, aren't you? You're all going, they are not the same as before. None of these lines are parallel. Absolutely. You are spot on. They are not. This is totally different this time because we're going to have the back of it is going to be smaller than the front. It's going to be a bit like it's being enlarged almost. Okay, so the back and the front are going to look different sizes to each other this time. And then what we've got to do, we're going to choose a corner or a side. We're going to choose a side, and we're going to follow those vanishing lines back to a point. It doesn't matter where. And we're going to draw a parallel line to that side. So can you see these ones are both going straight up, straight down. They're both vertical lines joining these 2 vanishing lines. Then we're going to choose another side that is attached to that one. And we're going to follow that back, keeping the line, this blue line here is going to be parallel to this line here. And we're going to follow back until we hit the same point. They're going to have to join together. Otherwise, it's not going to look like a cube. And then we keep going round. So we go to the next side. Same thing again. We follow the vanishing lines back. We keep this blue line parallel with the new line that we're going to draw in. And then the last side is going to be our bottom. Follow them back. So we're keeping them parallel. And you can see we've created a square at the back that is smaller than the square at the front. At the moment, it just looks like it's zooming along. If we want to make it just look like the cube, we need to rub out these vanishing lines. So we rub out the lines that we don't need, and then we can fill this in and make it look like a cube. Now mine, oh no, it's probably a bit long, isn't it? It's probably a bit long. It looks more like a cuboid. But again, you can play with the length of those lines. Okay, so let's do this one together. Let's do this. Are you ready? So we just need the same things as before. A piece of paper, pencil, rubber, ruler. Okay. And we're going to start off by drawing our square again. So let's use my amazing drawing upside down skills. Which way is better? I'm trying to work out where the paper needs to be. There we go. That's grand. So I'm going to draw my vanishing point over here. And I'm going to draw my square over here. You can put yours where you like, but we need space. All the drawing is going to happen between the vanishing point and the square. So that's the space you need. So I'm going to draw my square. I'm going to do the same size square as last time, 5 centimeters again, because I don't want to confuse anyone. So have you got your vanishing point? Have you got that? Have you all got that? Yeah, good, good. Okay, so now let's draw a square. Doesn't have to be a square. If you're feeling more advanced, do whatever you fancy. But I'm drawing a 5 centimeter square. So 5 centimeters up. Hopefully I can do this a little bit quicker this time. Otherwise we're going to be here a long time. 5 centimeters up. And now I need to do a base of 5 centimeters. So this is going to be rough. I'm going to try and line it up so that, can you see I've got a line there and a line there. So I'm hoping that's roughly 90 degrees. And I'm going to do 5 centimeters across the bottom. And then I'm going to line my ruler up again. And I'm going to do 5 centimeters coming up. And then hopefully, this is a gap here that is about 5 centimeters. Oh my gosh, bang on. That did not happen to me in either of my drawings on Tuesday. So, you know, did really well today. It's good. That's awesome. So I've got a square. 5 by 5 by 5 by 5 again. Okay, so have you got a square? Square or a rectangle or whatever you're working with. So again, these lines I'm not going to make too heavy. These ones I really want to be solid. They're staying there. These vanishing lines, we're going to have to rub some of them out. So you just be aware. You don't want to be like pushing your pencil right down. I'm going to do mine harder so you can see them on the video though. Okay. So, and like it's not about being perfect. You can go away and do this again, can't you? So I'm going to line up. I'm going to go from my bottom right-hand corner to my vanishing point, first of all. So I line up my ruler with my vanishing point and my bottom right-hand corner, and I draw a line across. I should have said, if you've got a shorter ruler, make your vanishing point closer, because otherwise this is going to be hard. Okay, so that's my first line from my bottom right-hand corner up to my vanishing point. Then I'm going to my top right-hand corner and I'm going to join that to my vanishing point. So not parallel lines for this one. These lines all join to the vanishing point. Okay, and then I'm going to go to my top left-hand corner and I'm going to join that to my vanishing point. Now, if you don't want your block to be see-through, you wouldn't do the last vanishing point. I'm going to do it because I'm sticking with see-through ones, but you wouldn't have to do the last one if you don't want it to be see-through, okay? So then the very last one, this one at the bottom left-hand corner, I'm going to line up that with my vanishing point as well. So we've got, I'm going to call these vanishing lines. We've got 4 vanishing lines. 4 vanishing lines. Okay. So now I'm going to recommend you carry this on in pencil, but I'm going to use a red pen for this bit just so it highlights what I'm doing next. So I'm going to highlight, you see this side here that I started with? That is my right hand side. That bit I'm going to keep my ruler parallel to that and move it along, move it along, move it along. And I'm going to pick a point where I think it looks quite cubey, technical language here. And I'm going to draw a line connecting the 2 vanishing lines that attaches or attaches to. Can you see that there? So these 2 vanishing lines that attach to the corners or the ends of that original line, I'm connecting those 2 vanishing lines further back with a parallel line. And then I'm going to do the same for the top. So I, again, do this in pencil. I'm going to use a blue pen. I'm going to highlight that one in blue and keep my ruler parallel, 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 coming all the way back until I hit where this red line was hitting my vanishing line so that I can join those 2 vanishing lines together. Can you see what's going on here? Sometimes it becomes more apparent as we go along, doesn't it? Okay. Then I'm going to the left-hand side. I'm going to do mine in a green pen. And I'm going to keep my ruler parallel to that line. Keep going back, going back, going back until I hit the point here where the vanishing line, oh, it's probably better if I do it this way actually. So I keep it parallel, parallel, parallel until I hit the point where this blue line connected to my vanishing line. So I join that to the next vanishing line. And then the final step is just to join together those final 2 points, and that should create a parallel line with the base. We just join those 2 together. And that should create the base. Then if I use a Sharpie just to highlight this, what you've got here, your original square at the front, you would want to keep. The smaller square at the back that we've just drawn, we would want to keep. And the vanishing lines connecting those 2 squares, we want to keep. Oh, I've not done that one very well. Everything else we would rub out. So you would rub out the vanishing lines that are going back from there. And then you can add in more shapes. So you could add in shapes over here, and they will all look, if you join them all to the same vanishing point, they'll all look like they're zooming from the same point, which I think is really Really cool. It's my favorite type. It's my favorite one of the ones I've shown you. Definitely. How did we do with that? I've seen some super cool pictures from people. Some people that joined me on Tuesday have sent me some epic pictures that they've drawn. And I would love to see more. Please do share them if you've drawn your own and you want to share them with me. You don't have to show me these ones. If you want to go away and practice it and do more exciting ones, please do. If you are a square and you've got the booklet, I provided you with some Minecraft pictures that you could turn into dimensional drawings. Art Hub for Kids, great if you want to do a 2D drawing and then turn it 3D afterwards using these skills. Or you could build stuff in Minecraft and then try and draw it, or you could build stuff with Lego or something else. Try and draw it. Loads of different ideas you could do with that. Okay, cool. So that's everything I've got for today. That's actually taken us quite a while anyway, hasn't it? So I'm going to say some highs. If you said hi on Facebook, if you're just thinking, oh gosh, I meant to say hi and I've not, you can do now, because I'll go on Facebook and then I'll refresh in a minute. So I'm just going to check who said hi. See if we've got any hello. I think I saw a couple of hellos before I started. So I'm just going to check and say hi. It's really important to me to say check in. And also people that come on the videos are super important too. I know that life just can't be that organized. You cannot always be live for everything. And that's our experience anyway. So, you know, videos equally as important. Okay, are we ready? Eli says, hi. Hi, Eli. Your lessons are now part of our weekly routine. You and Theatre of Science. You really love our lessons. Thanks. We actually totally love Theatre of Science. I always have to give Laura a massive shout out. Totally inspired by her and her model, which is why I've set up the same model, because I just think it's absolutely brilliant. So accessible, so brilliant. And I'm so glad that you love them both, Eli. Thank you so much for joining us. Who else? Who have we got? Hello from Lana and Finlay. We made 3D hands on our paper as well as squares and hexagons. Thank you for the lesson. Oh my gosh, I need to see those 3D hands. They sound amazing. Did you draw around your own hand and then make it 3D? That sounds really cool. Hi, Charlie and Jake. Fourth live lesson. You managed 4. That's incredible. That is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. Sophie, Emily, Katie and Hannah say hi. They watch all the time, but they have finally made it to a live today. Whoop, whoop, whoop. We made it to Theatre of Science Live this week too, so definitely on a roll. Yes, yes, yes. That's epic when that happens, isn't it? It feels so good. So good to have you here, guys. Thank you so much. Sophie wanted to show you her grass cubes. Oh, Sophie, you've put them all together. That is brilliant. Oh my gosh, that's also you've told me they're definitely grass cubes, which is really cool. Have a look at that, guys. Look, Sophie has built something out of her 3D grass cubes. Could we call that an archway? An archway, would you say? I think so. They're really cool, Sophie. Isaac and Serena are watching live again this morning. Hello. Hello, Isaac and Serena. Atticus and Drake say meow, 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 meow. You can translate for everyone. Rebecca and her cat Jess are meowing back too. Well, hopefully we've just all had a lovely conversation between us there. Evie says, hello, Maths and Minecraft is an amazing combination. Yes, isn't it just spot on? Thanks for joining me, Evie. I totally agree. Hi from Cassia. Hi, Cassia. Hi, Ruth from Laurie. Hi, Laurie. I remember you coming another week because I said that we've got a friend called Laurie too, and you don't meet that many Lauries, or at least we don't. Do you? I've been intrigued to know. Runus waiting with guinea pig and potato are with, oh no, waiting with guinea and potato are guinea pigs. That's a confusing sentence to read. I thought for a second you had a guinea pig and a potato, and I was like trying to work out why you would have both those things together. But I get it now. It's two guinea pigs called Guinea and Potato. Yeah? Hi, Guinea and Potato. Oh, my brain sometimes. Yeah, and hi, Runus. Hi. Oh, Karen, thank you. You're watching and you're saying stay safe. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to leave the house. That's my plan. Although I do feel like I want to sneak down and see the sea. Don't know. Maybe without a dog. There was a warning to keep our dogs on the lead so they don't get swept into the sea. It's like, wow, okay. I don't really want to be swept in myself if my dog could be. Maybe it was talking about smaller dogs than we've got. Maybe. It's not funny really, is it? I laugh to hide my anxiety, maybe. Hi from Connor. Hi, Connor. Hi. Nice to have you here. And Leslie. Hi, Leslie. Nice to, or is it somebody that's talking using Leslie's account? I never know. It could be Leslie. It could be a Leslie child. Maybe. Hi, anyway. Hi. Okay, I'm going to do a refresh. Do one refresh, and that's all I can manage, I'm afraid. Because I'm starving. I'm really hungry today. I'm really hungry. I need to go and eat something. Okay, so oh man, my phone's not doing things for me that I want to. Oh, do you want to see? Look, I've updated the stickers. I updated some stickers on the back. This is my work phone. It doesn't work as a phone. It just gets me online, but it's because it's cheap, it's really slow. I also updated the stickers on the back of my laptop, which I thought were just cool. Some of them are maths and some of them are not. Yeah, I was pretty chuffed with that. Yeah, I just thought I'd show you because I thought it looked cool. Sorry, I'm meant to be updating things, aren't I? Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Maybe I should. Frank and Effie, are you watching? Hi, guys. Are you watching live? If you are, hi from downstairs. Let me have a look. Oh, wow. Okay. Using the vanishing point, Jess, like this for see-through blocks. Very cool, Jess. Very cool. Look at that for a nice see-through block. That is a good one, isn't it? It's really cool. Charlie, I think I did all these ones. I think so. Oh, and we got Jess's cube as well. Jess, you are on a roll. Oh my gosh. Runus. Oh, look at that. And it's like a rainbow as well. Can you see that, guys? I don't know if I'm... Can you see that? Is that going to focus on there? Can you see that? It looks like the start of my name as well. So I'm like, I have to do that. I really like that. It looks like it's zooming out. That's epic. Oh, the 3D. Wow. It's pretty cool. Thanks for that. Oh, yours is awesome too, Lana. Look at that. Look at that. That's epic. Isn't that cool? Oh, thanks for those, guys. They're awesome. Oh, Effie says hi. Hi, Effie. Hi. Oh, Jacob. Hi, Jacob. Yeah, I think I've got everyone there. I think I've got everyone. Awesome. Okay, if you've said hi and I've missed, I'm not going to refresh again right now, I'm afraid. Okay, so yeah, hopefully I've got everyone there. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. Thank you so much. And I will be back this time next week with mob stats. So we'll do mob stats next week. And I will see you then or on Tuesday. Bye for now. Bye.